This is how many people watch football through streaming services. Now this is how many are watching on TV. Question is, why should you care about this? Because you're getting scammed. Just look at how it looks on TV, and now through streaming. Notice the difference? There's just none. With all the tech in the world, Google Chromecast, Apple TVs, artificial intelligence, streaming services, whatever, is this the best we can do? Trust me, I've got a point. Football has grown throughout the decades, thanks to broadcasting innovations. Back in the day, people might go to a stadium to watch a game. If not, bad luck them. Years later, we began to narrate games through the radio, just like live podcasts. It was great because you could connect with emotions of the game from home. It was instant. Still, going to the game was a superior experience, as it's pretty hard to understand what's really happening through a narrator, because the radio connects with your feelings, but it is ineffective at connecting with what's actually happening. So with the advances of live TV, the new billion-dollar idea was to broadcast football live on TV. The feelings plus description work was completely sorted out. You got both things. At first it was trash, but eventually producers improved and truly created narratives around games, telling stories, interviewing fans, and setting past results to hype up the games. Business kept growing, but something happened. The millennials showed up. The first kids to ever grow up with some tech around them. This generation hated going to a Blockbuster to watch a movie. They wanted to go full streaming. And big tech said, hell yeah. Now it was lots of fun, but these people are getting old and uncool. It's now time for the Gen Z. And at the age of 20, I have to admit that I struggle to keep my attention spans for longer than 20 seconds. I need things to be interactive. And while Netflix is making interactive stories and video games, watching football through streaming services like Disney is just a copy and paste from TV. All of this made me think that we're on the verge of the next revolution in sports broadcasting. FIFA needs football to keep growing. And it's getting more evident than ever that they are behind the American public. You can bring Messi to your league, build stadiums and host World Cups. But if the essence of your sport goes against the general rule of American sports, to have a lot of points and things happening all the time, then you need to take action. And listen to this, I feel like society has taught me the football rules throughout the years. But I don't think that some random guy in Kentucky, say, who wants to get into soccer necessarily must have had these experiences in the past. And I feel like football broadcasts tends to talk to the informed people, but leave out the guys that might not understand, say, the offside rule. Why can't your streaming platform help you learn about the sports? Imagine you're watching a game and there's a VAR check. Wouldn't it be cool to be able to press a button and have a simple explanation of what the VAR checks are? What can be checked and what can't? Same story with offsides or unallowed goals. What happened? I don't understand. Just click and learn. In the same way, I find pretty natural to have an app in my phone that shows stats and results from other games. But that's completely nonsense if you think about it. How is it acceptable to be forced to download an app in your phone to see how many chances your striker had in the first half, or you're watching the game, when all that information is available for the producers? Imagine we could deepen the experience by adding some shortcuts to the interface in order to see the stats whenever you want. Miss the goal? Watch it again without leaving the main screen. Why are stream directors the only ones who can decide what we can and what we can't know? I want to be able to check information in the same place I'm watching the game, or to see a VAR check by myself and analyze it with my homies. Of course, there could be moments in which the directors might have just something really cool to show us. In that case, there could be some sort of pause in our capacity to interact with the screen in order to show you a particular stat, goal, or crazy moment. It's not about getting rid of these people that are responsible for building a narrative around the game, but to allow us, the users, to check information by ourselves. whenever they aren't willing to tell us something cool. Back in the Club World Cup, DAZN, which is like the Netflix for sports in America, did a great job at making the experience a bit more interactive through their app. Fans were allowed to comment as if we were on YouTube and the narrators could read the chat. So there was some intention of connecting a little bit more. Still, I don't feel like sports broadcasting is necessarily compatible with commenting, as football games are usually produced to be seen on 40-inch screens without a dedicated keyboard. But the essence of the idea is exactly what competitions like the Copa Libertadores or national championships in South America must copy. See, I make this content because I truly believe that you American folks out there, are missing out on some really cool content. I really think that European football is not compatible with the general American public. Football that's extremely fair, rivals are friends, no fouls, pure tactic, whatever. I think the average American public prefers crazy games, dramatic moments, like if the Atletico Mineiro players will or not will be able to get to the game on time, sending the best team in the continent to the heights in La Paz. This sort of mystification of content is natural to the Copa Libertadores, because Latin America happens to be the hardest place on earth to play football. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know this is kind of a different video, but I'm just experimenting around a little bit with different concepts. So please comment, like, and share with your friends. And I don't know, just see ya.